back, guys, to another episode of Hoops and Football. I am Shannon. Unfortunately, the last injury report video, sorry, I said the word, sorry. The last Serpell report that I put up, apparently it didn't have any sound. So I'm having to remake this video again, but I'll keep it short, sweet. We'll chew through the report, the Serpell report for round 10. So on here it just says, despite Jaden Short's withdrawal from the Sunday game, that he will be playing. He just had a bit of knee soreness coming into the game, obviously. With everybody knows it was a last-minute change. So that's all there is for it. Obviously, they think he's going to play. Whether he gets a game, I think he needs a stint down in the VFL just to get a bit of form back. The other one they reported here was Nathan Broad with his finger. I don't know if anybody's seen it. It was a dislocated finger. They thought it might have been a compound fracture, but it was just a standard finger out. Popped it back in. Good to go. Most likely they'll just probably run a bit of lecky tape on the finger and go from there. And Serpell was reporting that McCarthy Lafau is on light duties, and we'll have to obviously test to see if he's going to be good enough to play in the VFL, but more than likely he will probably play a VFL game this week, which is really exciting for the forwards. That I think that probably if Lafau gets a couple of games into him, so what are we going, round 10? So say round 13, 14 after the bye, give Lynch a break and bring in Lafau and just try the younger forwards, because Lynch is going to be around forever. So Lafau requires a test. Taylor Young is 1 to 3 weeks, so probably similar to Lafau next week for Taylor Young. So probably next week he probably gets a test, and if he's good to go, he'll play. If not, they'll stretch him a bit more. Which is exciting to see for the defensive crop, which makes it pretty good because we've got a fair few down there that are pushing to play seniors. Samson Ryan still 1 to 2 weeks away. That's kind of dragged out, but I think with the emergence of Thomas Sims, he can probably get stuck down the VFL until maybe a Sims or a Nate gets injured. So Matt Kalina, he's 1 to 3 weeks away. Look, I don't expect much from him, so it'd just be good to get him back into the VFL from ruck stock. Dion Prestia, obviously a lot of talk was about him retiring. Doesn't look like that's the report coming from Adam Uze when he was on SEN. Look, he wants to play, so he is 1 to 3 weeks away. So it looks like the timeline is a bit earlier, and they're hoping to see him 1 to 2 weeks away, and he's been training well, and he's been pulling up relatively pain-free, so it's good to hear that he's pain-free. Taj Houghton, obviously, if anyone here listened to the radio, it should be on the actual AFL Richmond website. Ooze had a talk with Kane Corns and Joe Waitley about Taj Houghton. He won't be surprised if Taj is back. Once he's back, he's only 2 or 3 weeks in the VFL and he's playing the games. That's just the hype they have around him. So it's no real huge update. It's just 6 to 9 weeks away. So what's that looking at? Near the end of the year, so around 20. And between 18 and 20 that he might come back. Harry Armstrong, 7 to 10 weeks away. Look, with Harry, if the other big boys don't get injured, I am probably the idea of maybe you just get him a couple of games in the VFL at the end of the year and get him rested for next year. So, like, Harry isn't going to hit his stride for the next 3-4 years. Obviously, he makes it. None of this is guaranteed with forwards. Maybe you give him the couple of runs at the end of the year in the VFL, and then you just rest him up and get him ready for next year to have his body right and ready to go for a full season. So it's just different with the big ones. Good to see Josh Gipkus is now down to 7 to 10 weeks away. Look, he might be the same sort of thing as Harry Armstrong, where we're around 10 now. So it's around 20. He could be back. My theory behind that is if he's doing his work, he's getting in high tents, he's still wearing the non-contact hat, give him the same chance as Harry Armstrong. A couple of games in the VFL, get him ready for next year. And the other bad one out of this report is Josh Smiley, hamstring to be assessed. So it says, this is the only really bad news out of it, so I'll just give it a quick read through what Serpell's reported. Unfortunately for Josh, he has come off the track last week with a minor hamstring. It's actually so minor that we don't even know when it occurred. We are going to spend our time with him for the next few weeks developing his athletically and making him sure that we are doing the right thing for him, not only short term but long term. So they don't have a time frame, so we probably aren't going to put a time frame on his return. and we are going to focus on his athletic development for the next one, which is probably not a bad thing, as we've seen if you guys have watched the VFL. He just doesn't quite seem to be there yet. So probably because he's such a big boy, he just needs time to develop. So I'm probably the same thing. You give him until near the end of the year to rebuild, get his body right to suit the AFL style. But let's see how we go with that. But right, guys, just leave a comment below on what you think on the Serpell report, if you like it, and if you're excited to see Lafau, and who maybe if you agree with me with the Tom Lynch getting when you're going to arrest him, you bring in Lafau for him. But all right, guys, until next time, stay safe and go Tigers.